Today we're going to seek to understand knowledge management infrastructure. This refers to the systems, tools and culture that needs to be in place for learning to be effectively shared throughout an organisation. The first area of the organisation that needs to be examined with a knowledge management headset is the managerial infrastructure. This refers to the systems and processes that are used to ensure that organisational priorities are achieved. If the organisation wants to make the most of what it knows, then everything needs to reflect that priority. Here's an example of an organisation that doesn't quite have that priority worked out properly.
Oh, come in. Well done. Your class improved its NAPLAN results more than any other. Your budget will go up because you obviously know how to use it. Also, here's your bonus for winning that competition. Thank you. I'm sorry, but your class didn't improve as much as Calvin's. So no money for you. Want to know how to get my results? Lots of little things. Nothing much. I'm not really sure. I can't say really. If I told him, I might not get the bonus next year. If I lost, I'd get my budget cut.
As we can see from that exchange, this is a school that is attempting to reward high-performing staff. Unfortunately, the reward system being used does not encourage sharing of information. On the contrary, it seems designed to make every classroom a bunker where teachers peer out through their curtains, trying to catch someone else's classroom tricks without giving away any of their own. One of the concerns that many educators have about high-stakes testing and school comparison tables is based on this very dilemma transferred to a system level. If my school is going to be compared with yours, why would I share what is working in my site if it will help you improve and thus increase the chance that I will be viewed less favourably? You might turn out better than me. I might look bad. And if this is a situation, there need to be very different conditions in place altogether if I'm going to help you. Another example of the impact of management on the effective utilisation of knowledge across the organisation can be seen in our recruitment and training practices.
Who should get the job? This one looks like they've got great results, but the rest of their school was pretty ordinary. Their referee, who said they didn't really see them share too much of their practice. This one gave it spare time to mentor beginners. Her classroom results don't stand out as much as the other one. But there could be a few reasons for this, couldn't there?
This principal might need to ask a few more questions before offering anyone a job. If they are trying to build a team that will collaborate and work together to improve outcomes, then they need to make sure that they recruit team players. It might be that teacher A's previous school had a culture that didn't value working together and collaboration. And that might be why they hadn't been seen sharing their knowledge with others. It might be that teacher B loves helping beginners, but they might not actually have the skills or the knowledge that beginners actually need. The challenge this leader needs to address is how to have suitable expertise in their organisation, as well as the conditions needed for that expertise to get where it is required. In this case, in the classroom. This leads us to another set of infrastructure that needs to be established. The social environment of an organisation has a major impact on how knowledge and learning are shared and used. A dog-eat-dog workplace is likely to use knowledge less effectively than one which has a more collaborative culture. If we rewind back to the conversation in the staff room that we saw earlier, imagine if it had turned out like this.
Want to know how to get my results? I'm going to run a session of proven results. Now it gave me some time to repair. Would you like me to come in your class and model it? We could film it to put on the Moodle and use at staff meeting. Okay?
This is an example of a school that appears to have all three areas pointing in the right direction. Management is clearly looking for and acknowledging good performance. They're also obviously putting resources towards sharing the knowledge. They have a culture of sharing and collaboration, and they clearly use several different technological tools to share that knowledge. This is not to say that this school necessarily has everything together, but it certainly suggests that they are getting some of the conditions needed for effective knowledge management. Management and culture are often things that schools tend to focus on quite closely. Educators tend to be people. But it is the last of those three areas that I've just referred to that often trip us up. Technological infrastructure refers to all of the mechanisms by which people can share and transfer information and knowledge. In many ways, schools suffer from death by data or analysis paralysis. We may have so much information of so many different types stored in so many different ways that we find it almost impossible to drill down to the useful information that might actually be able to be used to improve performance. As we walk through the school, we see row after row of filing cabinets. We see pin-up boards and whiteboards filled with information. We find cupboards full of folders and teachers' heads filled with knowledge about their students. Buried inside computer servers, we find database after database with yet more information that could be used to improve performance, if only we can somehow access it in a useful way. This records management headache is one that many schools and organisations are grappling with. The purpose of intentionally planning this kind of organisational architecture is to maximise organisational memory and ensure that information, understanding and wisdom get from wherever it is held, created or known to wherever else in the organisation that it could be used profitably. Those of us who are engaged in leading organisations need to be mindful of all three of these areas and make sure that we pay close attention to the impact of the management decisions we make, the technologies we resource and use, and the ways we plan for knowledge capture and retention, and the social climate that we develop. If any of these areas is out of sync, then we are fighting the knowledge management battle with one hand tied behind our back.